Greetings, this is Rick here again. Good to see you guys. Glad you have tuned in here. So I want to ask a question. What do you do when the front hairline of your hair system doesn't look its greatest? Does it always look its greatest? What's the good and the bad of it all? How do you maintain a great looking hairline where, if you're like me, I want anything at close inspection to look good. I want to be able to say to people when I say, yeah, it's a hair system, which I don't keep it a secret. This is a hair system. And they look at me like, you've got to be kidding. That's not your hair. I said, nope, it is stuck on my head. So they get up close. I said, go ahead. It's a challenge, right? Look, have at it. And they're like studying it. And of course, they don't really know what to look for, but you can't see anything anyway. So they're always astounded, but not always the case. So I have talked about all the greatness of having hair on my head and all the greatness of a Super Hair Systems hairpiece. But I want to tell you an experience I had. I've done a couple of videos about being at the beach and how great it's been, and I've been tumbling around in the waves in the ocean and out in the humidity and all of that. And that's very, very true. But this last time, after I did that video on the beach, I went back to our hotel and we're getting ready for dinner, and I've showered and I look in the mirror and I go, what in the heck? Now, we're just going to be in South Beach, Miami. Yeah, Ocean Drive, the whole bit. And we're going to be there only 5 days, and so I've not taken any of this with me to redo this hair. So I think, well, it's a good thing nobody knows me. And it's a good thing I'm the least weird looking thing at South Beach walking down Ocean Drive, guaranteed. So I thought, oh well. So I shampooed the hair, and so I tried to comb it and style it and do all that, and I brushed it back. When I did, the front hairline went, lifted up off my head. I thought, oh man, I've never been away from home when that's happened, but those were some extreme circumstances with the heat and humidity. So I stuck it back down. Plus, it looked kind of white. I got around this front edge. You know, if you've got experience, and I use Walker Hard Bond, but if you have any experience, I hope that mic wasn't screwed up, have any experience with like Ghost Bond, it goes on white, dries clear. But if you get hot in the humidity, it goes white again, and you can see it. The Walker Hard Bond never does that, except this time it's like it did. And I don't think it was the glue as it was so much maybe the skin of the system. I just don't know. It just sucked. It looked bad. So I stuck it back down with my finger and styled my hair the best I could, and we left and went to dinner. Thought nobody's probably going to notice. And my wife would say, nobody's going to notice.
Nobody's going to know.
And it's so super rare that I kind of stress about it, because 99.9% of the time, it never enters my mind. I never have a thought about it. It's just, I just have hair, period. That's all of it. So we went, had dinner, and it was great. We sat out in this beautiful area under these umbrellas, and it gets dark, it begins to rain, temperature drops, and we're sitting there eating this amazing meal, and it's raining all around us. Yeah, it was a really nice moment. My favorite part of the whole trip, really. So we finished dinner, and we have umbrellas. And so we walked back to our hotel, which took us about 15 minutes probably. The rain had subsided. As a matter of fact, we sat there long enough for the rain to quit. So we sat there for a good while. And I get back to the hotel, and I don't even look in the mirror. I brush my teeth, we go to bed. And the next morning I get up, look in the mirror at my hair. It looks perfectly fine. It looks as good as it did the day I stuck it on several days before. And so I thought, what in the world? And so I looked, it was stuck to my head like crazy. Didn't look white, didn't look weird. I'm not kidding, it looked perfect. So I learned something, that if you ever get in a situation like that and it doesn't look good or it wants to come up, let yourself cool off, let it dry down again, and I guarantee you, it's going to reattach, it's going to stick and look good as new. I learned that. Now, here's the killer of what my impatience will do for me, is if I had been at home and I saw that, you know what I've done? I'd have ripped that sucker off like crazy. We did it because I don't mind doing it. If it doesn't look exactly perfect to me, I don't mind going on there and rip it off because I'm so fast at it. And I'm so particular about it. But so it had reattached itself, stuck back down, and looked absolutely great. So what's the moral of the story here? Don't be too impatient. If you get in a situation like that, most of the time, if it's from heat and humidity, if you'll give it a minute to cool down and dry off and set up again, it'll be perfect and it'll be just fine again. So don't sweat it. You see what I did there? Don't sweat it. Don't stress out. Most of the time it's going to be fine. Now, if it's been on there about 9 or 10 days, I don't know. I don't ever go that long. But I think mine had been on just a few days when that happened. And I was great the rest of the trip. As a matter of fact, when we got home, I didn't even redo it. It was still great. So there in that little moment of freak out, oh my Lord, I don't have anything to fix this hair. It's coming off my head. In that moment, I learned, you need to take a deep breath. Excuse me. Speaking of deep breaths, a deep breath and chill. So like I've said, I don't stress about it. I don't worry about it. I don't get up every morning and I'm thinking about this hair. I don't go to work. How does this hair look? I'm not constantly checking the rearview mirror. Is the front hairline okay? I put it on my head and I 100% forget it. So the Hard Bond Walker, I'm going to show you, give a run through of what I use on here. Here's the Walker Tape Ultra Hold Glue. That's what I use. It's really the only thing that's satisfactory for my oily skin. And then this scalp protector, also a great product I use. Uh-oh, dropped that. This is a pretty current product for me, no sweat. It is near and dear to my heart because it helps with the oily skin. However, I think that when I use this, it makes it a lot more difficult to get the glue off of the system. I have to work twice as hard. It's like the C22 doesn't penetrate this to get down to the system. I don't know. But so I save this when I'm going to be in a pretty stressful environment to use it, just because, like I said, I want things to happen quick. I don't have time to sit in there and spend an hour every day getting this hair going. I'm not going to do it. That's too much maintenance. I am not a maintenance person. My wife will say, well, you know what? You could, she's all got into this bit in skincare and all that kind of jazz. Rick, if you'll do this, if you'll do that, put this on your face. Okay, I will. So I'll do it for 2 or 3 days. She said, are you still using that? I said, using what? That stuff for your skin. What stuff for your skin? And she'll just roll her eyes. So I'm not very systematic, and I'm not gonna be, you think you're wearing fake hair on your head. How can you say you're not high maintenance? Well, I'm not, because this is not high maintenance. This is nothing. Literally, this is nothing. So then another fairly new product is this. This was sent to me. It's upside down, reverse and backwards, isn't it? Nose Thing Skin Prep. It kind of throws me a little when it says tampon protector non-irritant or something. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, let's just say no sting skin protector. It's I guess maybe one of my favorite things because of the way it makes my scalp feel, the way I think it prepares my skin for a new attachment, my scalp for a new attachment. It just feels good and I like it. Doesn't make the cleanup any harder than I can tell at all. And so yeah, so my impatience sometimes too. Remember, let me reiterate. If the front hairline sucks and you've been in high heat and humidity, leave it alone. Don't rip it off. Give it a few hours to calm down, cool down, settle down. I guarantee it'll re-stick. Secondly, Impatient Rick, I need a nickname. Rick, you need patience because I just click, 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 let's do it, let's hurry. If you want Rome built in a day, I am the man to call. I will get it done quickly and it's going to look good, but let's just get to business. And most of the time, I work really well by myself because I just really need you to get out of my way because I got this, get this done. Yeah, I know that's bad. Okay, so impatience. This little system right here, I laughed when I looked at it because this is the one I chose to use. It's an extra one that I have in the closet. And so I was ripping it off my head and it gets to the back and it's pretty darn stuck. And I should have gotten some C22 and squirted it in there and kind of massaged it and waited a bit. But did I do that? No. What did I do? I went, got it off. So what happened is a little rip in the very back of the system here, which really, really hurts my feelings, but it is not the end of the world. I'm going to get this up close. You can see that little bit of tape there. I think you can. It's Scotch tape. Yeah. So I stuck that on there, put my Walker hard bond over it. The next time I wore it, stuck it on my head. Never knew I had Scotch tape under there. Took it off. The Scotch tape was still on it after I got the unit cleaned up and all the glue off of it. So guess what? I'm just leaving it. Put glue on it again the next time. And away we will go. So I guess the bottom line is, what are the points? The front hairline is a perfect, exquisite, divine, magnificent, completely undetectable front hairline is easily possible if you use HD111 thin skin. And maybe with some others. I know I've had a little experience with a Swiss lace unit. I was able to achieve that with the Swiss lace unit too. But I have a video on Super Hair Pieces that compares the two in my experience with Swiss lace that pretty much says it all. The cleanup was harder for me, like I said earlier, quick. And so don't worry, get that front hairline will be all right. Number two, you need to find your right mix of products. It's going to be different for everybody. These are the things that I use, but it took me a while. Try this, try that. I tried Ghost Bond, I tried another. I tried tape for a while, front hairline and tape. Definitely not. Not for me anyway. If you can make it work, I'm so happy for you. You can feel it. I want to be able to run my fingers through my hair and it just feels like real. So that, find your own products. If something tragic happens and you get a rip or a tear or something like this, join Ghetto Rick and just say, I'm going to get the Scotch tape, fix that right up. No problemo. Anyway, life is too short. This shirt's driving me crazy. Life is too short to worry and stress about a lot of things. Not a single person I know wakes up in the morning as a young man and says, I'm going to look in the mirror, see if I'm losing my hair yet. Oh, I'm not. Maybe tomorrow. Says everyone, never, right? Never, never, never. So to be able to have hair on your head, to be able for it to be easy, I've got tips and tricks that I'm going to be putting even more of on my channel. So there's the one for this is if you're out and away on a trip, what do? Do you take a whole arsenal of stuff? If you're going to be there for a while, it's kind of a safety net to do that. But, a week or less, no, you don't need to. It'll be fine. It will be fine. Just relax and enjoy the time. I enjoyed South Beach. I enjoy looking at all the people who are more strange than me, which sometimes that's hard to do. Life's too short. Be happy. I have a lovely home, a lovely wife, lovely daughters, lovely grandchildren, and I have lovely hair. What could be better than that? I just want to ask you. I don't know many things. I am so glad you've tuned in. Please subscribe to this channel. It would mean a lot to this guy right here. Every time I look and see subscribers that have been added to it, my heart leaps with joy. Literally, that sounds kind of corny, but it really makes my day. So come along from the ride. I can promise you I've got some good tips and I've got a whole truckload of goofiness that I can offer up as well. Let's just have fun and laugh and enjoy life. Everything's good. Thanks, guys, and Peace out. Have a good one.